Hello everyone, this is Maki. Episode 3 of GQuuuuuuX has just been released. With this episode, the story that was shown in the movie beginning is now complete. From now on, everything that happens in the story will be brand new to all viewers. What kind of developments are in store for us? Today, I'm going to take a look at some of the smaller details that caught my eye in episode 3. Of course, this will contain spoilers for episode 3, so please be aware. Before we dive in, I have a small announcement. My channel accepts support through memberships. For just 99 cents a month, you can join and get an anime tag and stamps. And as a bonus for those who join after watching this episode, I'll throw in a recommendation for the Flanagan School. Alright, let's get started with the analysis. First, let's talk about the secret of the Gundam. The white Gundam was designed and built by the forces of the Earth Federation. Then it was stolen by the Zeon forces and repainted red, after which it was pirated by Charles Naval. Just like the first Gundam, it was designed and built by the Earth Federation. The chief designer of the Gundam was Ray. Even in the story of first Gundam, he was treated with a certain amount of special status. But what about the world of GQuuuuuuX? Let's take a closer look at what Amati read on the internet. It said that the designer of the Gundam was unknown. Ray also appears in GQuuuuuuX. In first Gundam, he was thrown into space when the colony was damaged during Admiral Ray's battle with the Zaku. After that, he suffered severe brain damage and was practically retired as an engineer. But in GQuuuuuuX, he was not thrown into space. Ray survived in good health. Then why is the designer of the Gundam listed as unknown? Because the Gundam was stolen, the Earth Federation decided to use the light-type gun cannon as their main mass-produced mobile suit. If Ray was safe, it seems like they could have just built another Gundam. But they didn't. Did Ray become a prisoner of war when Site 7 was taken over by Zeon? Or did he die in the chaos of the battle? Ray was the one who developed the Gundam that changed the history of mobile suits. If he was captured by Zeon, it wouldn't be surprising if they treated him as a critical asset. Ray also has the kind of personality that is completely absorbed in machines and technology to the point of forgetting everything else. Admiral's mother eventually gave up on him and chose to live separately because of this. It's possible that Ray is now working on developing a new mobile suit for Zeon. If he's someone who values knowledge and technology more than national loyalty, and if he's given an environment where he can focus on his research, it's entirely plausible that he'd work honestly. And now let's talk about the 17 bunch incident. This term came up during the conversation between Cameron Bloom and Charles Bull. We don't know exactly what happened during this incident. However, judging by the very serious look on Cameron's face when he mentioned it, it's safe to say that it was something big. Interestingly, there's a similar term, the 30 bunch incident. This event is from the history of Zeta Gundam. It was a massacre committed by the Titans, an internal faction of the Earth Federation forces, under the pretext of maintaining order, in which they used poison gas on civilians. The 30 bunch incident took place on July 31 Universal Century 0085. Now let's check the date of episode 3 of GQuuuuuuuX. We can confirm it from the photo of XV taken at the police station. The date shown is June 8th Universal Century 0085. That's about a month and a half before the study bunch incident. In the world of GQuuuuuuX, there is also a mysterious phenomenon called Zeknova that is considered a major threat. Even Zeon soldiers mention things like it would be terrible if a Zeknova were to occur. So the 17 bunch incident may have involved something similar to a Zeknova. And since the term came up in a serious exchange between two key characters Charlotte and Cameron, it feels significant. In fiction, these kinds of massive catastrophes are often treated as something that must not happen until they do happen, usually at a critical turning point near the end of the story. So will Zeknova happen near the end of GQuuuuuuX? It's very possible. However, we already know officially that GQuuuuuuX will end in 12 episodes. That doesn't leave much room. Also, since a major incident near the climax is such a common storytelling move, many viewers are probably expecting it. So, what do you think? When will Zeknova strike? This is kind of a half joke, but I think it could actually happen in episode 4. Next time there will be a character called the Witch. The term witch is often used to describe someone with special abilities. In the world of GQuuuuuuX, the term new type refers to that kind of special power. Arma T and Shuji, who are both new types, will meet the witch and fight. And that fight will involve the red Gundam equipped with the Alpha Psycho Mu and the GQuuuuuuX with its Meta Psycho Mu system. It would be weirder if nothing happened. Episode 4 is uncharted territory even for those who saw beginning. There's a good chance the writers have something big in store. Alright, the next topic may sound a bit like a joke. But honestly, I think it's not completely impossible. Could it be that Ixabi and Nieran are siblings? Ixabi is a refugee from a space colony that was badly damaged during the war. And Nieran is also a refugee. Of course, being a refugee isn't that unusual in this world. But in episode 3, there's something strangely similar about the two of them. They both have beating marks on their faces. We never actually see the moments where they get hit, but the bruises are in the exact same place. Is that really just a coincidence? I feel like the director intentionally wanted to convey the message that the two characters have something in common. Actually, there's another interesting little clue. Let's take a look at the special footage that was released as a bonus for beginning. There's a scene where Nieran is eating rain noodles. Someone is sitting on her left. A little later in the footage, there's a scene where Ixabi is running. The scene is dark, so it's hard to see the exact colors. But the wrinkle on the sleeve looks very similar. Why would Ixabi meet Nieran? Nieran doesn't seem to have much money, being a refugee. And while eating rain noodles, she gives a confused look to the person sitting across from her. Could it be that Ixabi approached Nieran while hiding his identity? It wouldn't be surprising if he was trying to get close to someone connected to the civilian clan battle. The software vendor who appeared in episode 3 even told Nieran, "You're attracting too much attention." So it wouldn't be surprising if Ixabi noticed her too. Maybe he's trying to extract information cleverly, like Steiner approached Al in war in the pocket. But honestly, Ixabi doesn't seem like the type who could pull off such sophisticated conversational tactics. It seems much more natural to think that he's just taking his long-lost little sister out to dinner. So why does Nieran make that puzzled face? If her brother had joined the military of the country that made them refugees, that would be a pretty reasonable reason to look confused. Finally, let's take a closer look at their eye colors. Nian has green in her yellow irises. Meanwhile, most of Ixabi's eyes are green. Let's compare this with another example of a family relationship of Maki and her mother. Amati's mother has light green eyes, and Amati has a little bit of red mixed in with her light green eyes. This pattern of having a common color, but with a different accent color is the same for Niran and Ixabi. Of course, this is just my personal speculation with a bit of a leap. What do you think? Episode 3 of GQuuuuuuX had so many interesting moments, didn't it? This might just be me overthinking things, but the meal Amati was eating at home looked like gratin. And actually, in War in the Pocket, the main character was also eating gratin. War in the Pocket is famously a favorite of both director Tsuru Maki and scriptwriter and No, who are working on GQuuuuuuX. So maybe they slipped in a little homage through this small detail. Of course, it could just be a coincidence and I might be reading too much into it. But paying attention to these kinds of little things is a lot of fun, isn't it? What surprises await us in episode 4? I'm really looking forward to seeing that green-colored mobile suit that looks a lot like a gym in action. Thanks so much for watching all the way to the end. See you again in the next episode.